My friends, more often than not, from this pulpit and pulpits in Christian churches throughout the world, we emphasize our duties and responsibilities as faithful Christians. To be a follower of Christ is to roll up our sleeves and go to work in the great business of service. St. Francis saw himself as a farmer sowing seeds of love, joy, pardon, and hope in a world filled with hatred and sorrow, injury and despair. Now, you and I don't oftentimes think of ourselves as saints, but we do call ourselves Christians. That is an honorable title that carries with it a responsibility of service. Our task as a follower of Christ is to continue his work, to take up his mission, to do the things which he did in the days of his flesh. So this is the theme week after week. But today's gospel carries with it a different emphasis. Not the work to which Christ has called us, but the security which our relationship with him provides. Listen to him again. My sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one shall snatch them out of my hand. God is greater than all, and there is no snatching out of God's hand. Now the language is figurative, but the message is crystal clear. Christ was assuring his followers of security in the midst of adversity. Now, I realize that at times that theme of Christian security has been abused and sentimentalized. Some have sought to use the Christian faith as an escape from the hard, brutal realities of life. Just because we're Christian doesn't mean that we are safe and exempt from the stores of life. I think what Jesus is saying is this: life on this earth can be a risky business. The scream of a siren in the middle of the night tells us that someone is sick or injured. We pass a serious automobile accident and realize that the same thing could happen to us. I believe that the frightening thing about it all is not the possibility of accident or even death, but that through it all we are alone, like sheep without a shepherd. I could think of nothing worse than to cry out to God and receive no reply, to the sound of our voice echoing down the hallways of an empty universe. Life at times is a lonely experience, even for those fortunate enough to be surrounded by family and friends. The great burdens of life oftentimes are solitary. Loved ones can stand by giving their support, but ultimately, we are the one who must carry the load. The great decisions of life are solitary. We can seek counsel from those we trust, but ultimately we make the choice. The last great step of human life, when we exit through the gate of death, must be taken alone. Friends and loved ones are left behind. Life can truly be a lonely experience. But Jesus told his disciples that they are never really alone. In every experience of life, those who listen can hear the voice of the shepherd. We may not always understand what he is saying, but at least we know that he is there. You and I need to feed our souls on the words of Christ, as recorded in today's gospel, that we can hear his voice and follow him, that we will never perish, that we are always in his hands, and nothing can snatch us away from him. We need that assurance, not only that we might have security for ourselves, but that we might share it with our friends and our world. You know, no one can give us a sense of security unless they first have it in themselves. And in a world like ours, it seems to me that no one can have a sense of security within themselves unless they first find it in Jesus Christ.